Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Lakeland, Florida. A 3/4 mile high bank oval. USA International hosted USARA, ASA, USAC races, and a variety of late model events from 1995 to its closure in 2008. Located in Lakeland, Florida, the temperate climate, coupled with its relatively long straights and tight turns, made the facility a popular year-round test track for a number of ARCA, CRA, and NASCAR teams before it was demolished 10 years ago. Tonight, the TRS Tour Modified Series rolls into Lakeland to close out their season and crown a champion. Don't go anywhere. It's coming up next on HBR TV. Once again, good evening and welcome to USA Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, joined in the booth by Brian Rose. Brian, welcome to Championship Night here, the TRS Tour Modified Series.
Championship night, and it's a great time to be up here. I love USA Speedway. It's one of my favorite tracks when I first got on iRacing. Showcases a bunch of good talent, showcases a lot of great racing, so looking forward to get these mods turning left tonight.
It's gonna be fun to watch. I turned some laps myself tonight just to try and get a feel for things. Nowhere near the lap times these guys are throwing down. Dustin Painter, a 1967. It's about a half second faster than what I was able to do. Granted, on a smaller monitor, not the ultra wide that I'm used to, but either way, I mean, 10, 12 laps, not even anywhere near the time 65 has put down so far, with just under 3 minutes left in the practice session. As far as fuel mileage is concerned, roughly 0.2 of a gallon per lap. They're running at 80% fuel, so I believe if we start the race at 80% fuel, that's 80% of just about 23 gallons. That should be more than enough to make it to the finish tonight. I'm not sure if that gets adjusted in between the heats, because we're going to run 2 heat races tonight to set the field, and then an 80-lap feature. At least that's how it is advertised. I know it's been hit and miss as far as the accuracy of those lap counts, but either way, it's going to be a good time to watch tonight.
Yeah, and then we're going to move into an 80-lap featured event, Crown a Champion here. I believe that they'll be able to go. They do have 3 sets of tires on pit road if they decide to come in, 2 fast repairs. Those always come in handy, especially in a championship race like this. There's definitely going to be some sparks flying tonight, because no one that's in contention wants to walk away leaving something on the track.
Yeah, 3 sets total, 1 on the car, 2 over the wall. But yeah, you're definitely right on the fast repair aspect of things. They give these guys a little bit of extra rope to hang themselves with here at the TRS Tour Modified Series, which is all in good fun. Again, these guys are here to enjoy their time, race it out, have fun. It's really no fun getting caught up in somebody else's mess the first lap of the race, and all of a sudden all that practice that you put in has gone out the window. So they give these guys 2 fast repairs. Again, nothing wrong with that. We run at least 1 in the Superior Class Auto Racing Series that I cover on Mondays and Tuesdays. So again, not uncommon by any stretch.
And, you know, this is a hobby. Everybody likes to get out here, and there are a lot more leagues that are take this a whole lot more serious than others. I think SCAR is kind of right in the middle between seriousness and having fun. This is a fun league. That being said, though, they're out here to have fun, but I can guarantee you that championship, that means something to these guys. They didn't race all season to have the opportunity to win one and then let it go at the end just for fun. So they're going to be bumping and banging out here. No one wants to leave that championship here tonight. They want to take it home.
Yeah, don't take that fun for granted. These guys are absolutely here to battle it out and take home a championship. Dustin Painter does lead the points coming into tonight, but it's not a runaway. He's got 10 points over second place Rob Higgins. Another 12 points back to Dan Butler. That's the third place machine, and Josh Buckley at 509. Another 11 points back from there. Shane Wagner, 43 points out of the lead. I don't think that even if he won and the leader finished last, really everybody ahead of him finished last, I don't know if mathematically there's enough room there to get Shane Wagner a championship tonight. But I think at least the top 4 mathematically have an opportunity. We'll have to see how things play out.
Well, the clock's at 0. The practice session is over. We're going to move into qualifying here and see who can put it up front to lead this thing off.
Still going to do single car qualifying to set the field for the heats, and then we'll go into 2 heat races before we get into our feature tonight. Gonna roll out first. It looks like maybe Cody Harger. Yep, the 66 machine on track first. Gonna roll out, start his qualifying attempt. Not the fastest in practice, was second quick to Dustin Painter, only by about 2/100ths of a second. We'll see what kind of lap times Cody can lay down here tonight.
So crucial around these corners, being able to wrap that yellow line through 1 and 2, and especially 3 and 4. Turn 4 is definitely the trickiest corner here. The banking's a little bit different there. A little bit of progressive banking coming off of 4. Cody scrapes the wall just a little bit. That might hurt his second lap.
Only throws the one lap down. A 19.885 for the driver, the number 66. Does get into the fence just a bit. We're going to go to Brian Torsha, driver, the number 2 machine, at 20.298 on his first lap. Brian, you talked about it's critical to get down low. I found a couple times if you just go maybe an inch or two below that yellow line, it spells disaster because the thing gets real loose, and then you got to try and correct it. Then it slides up to banking a bit, and then all of a sudden you've overcorrected and you're head on into the wall.
Yeah, there's a real fine line when you get down there. As soon as you dip that left front tire over that yellow line to get down on the flatter part of the track, so we got one Ricky Bobby style around the track. It is difficult. It will turn the car sideways, but putting that left front tire right on that yellow line, that paint has a lot of grip in it, and that will just help rotate the car around.
I'm not gonna lie. We talked about this being a fun league, and Josh Buckley certainly having a blast with it. I'm impressed right now. Josh Buckley cruising around this track in reverse. That's not good for the rear diff, but either way, lap 2 at 28.47 going backwards. Unreal. Dustin Painter on the track, point leader coming into tonight. Got the car facing the right direction. Going to see what kind of time he can drop down. Again, Josh Buckley, he's not worried about it. Again, they got to run the heats anyway, so hopefully he can work his way through the field towards the front, get a good starting position tonight. First lap for Painter, $19.99 on sale. Meanwhile, Ben Choate goes top of the board, $19.87 for the driver, the number 1 machine. Gonna stick with Painter, point leader coming into tonight. See if he can put this thing on the front row as fastest in practice. Off turn 4, crosses the line. What does he have? P1, 19.771 for Dustin Painter, goes top of the board. Dan Butler's out there as well in his number 18 machine. Second lap, a 20.128. Not the greatest time, 10th fast on the charts, but again, we're going to run heat, so it doesn't really matter. You get an opportunity to race his way to a higher starting position. Got a few guys out there that have yet to take a time so far. Tom Melnick, Dan Murphy, Joe Marks looks like he's going to roll out here in a minute. Bob Higgins, Doug Wolcott. Again, a little backstory on Doug Wolcott, kind of a newcomer here to the series. Doug used to drive these tour modified series race cars. Did the real thing here, and now he's running some iRacing stuff with the OG Racing League, having a good time. Kind of effort he can throw down tonight. Let's go to Joe Marks here and see what kind of time he can drop in his first couple of laps here in qualifying.
Ran a 19.7 in practice, so that would put him right about the 5th or 6th spot right now. So if he can turn that practice lap into a qualifying lap, you know, he's looking good for his heat.
20.709 first lap for Joe Marks. Oh, loose off the corner, gathers it up, locks it down. Is he gonna get the wall? Yeah, he's gonna get the front Nerf bars into the fence, so that's gonna do it for Joe Marks. Typically, we've got a 10-minute quali session for these guys. Gonna make sure they got a few guys that still have an opportunity to take a lap or two. So far, the top 13, Painter, Choate, Harger, Higgins, Taschereau, the top 5, Jamie Kerr, 6th, Kevin Feemster, 7th, Carson Conway, 8th, Torsha, 9th, Dan Butler, 10th, Wagner, 11th, Joe Marks, 12th, Josh Buckley, 13th. With four 4 modified drivers out there left to hit the track and take a time. They may not. They may just opt to race their way in.
So with just little under 5 minutes to go in qualifying right now, we still have 4 drivers that have left to make a qualifying time. Like Steve said, they may just be out here going to take their chance on racing their way in. They're not into points contention tonight, so they're really just out here to make some laps and have a good time. But at the same time, you don't really want to start in the back of your heat. But you never know. These heats can get pretty dicey. So we'll see what happens as we have just about 4 minutes left until we get this first heat underway.
Just about 7 minutes into the qualifying session, 3 minutes official left to go. Before we get too deep into things, we have to thank, of course, TRS, the racingschool.net. It is the TRS Tour Modified Series, primary sponsor here of the mods. If you've ever wanted to get behind the wheel of a real stock car, the Racing School gives you the opportunity to drive a late model or even a modified race car on the historic 5/8 mile Thompson Speedway oval track. Drive on your own, no pace car. Passing is encouraged. Check us out and find out how you can book this amazing experience. Check out the racingschool.net or call 877-CAN-RACE. Again, their 2022 schedule is up starting April 9th, coming up awfully fast here, all the way through the end of October here, weather permitting. So give them a call. Special thanks to D. Dixon and Sons Trucking Incorporated. Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath, 636-544-7836. And associate sponsor LSI Litchfield Specialty, primary sponsor of the LSI ARCA series. Still a couple of minutes left in the quality session at this point. Melnick, Murphy Jr., Higgins, Doug Wolcott have yet to hit the track. At this point, I'm only going to assume that they're not going to, so we're going to step aside, take a short break. We will be back for Heat 1 after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lakeland, Florida, site of the USA International Speedway in tonight's TRS Tour Modified event. Qualifying results are in, at least as far as, that's the wrong logo. Heat number 1, Josh Buckley is going to be on the pole. Dan Butler is going to start second. Kevin Feemster will be third. Rob Higgins fourth. Dustin Painter fifth. Dan Murphy Jr. will roll off from the 6th position for heat number 1. Go down to the track. 10-lap heat, it looks like here. Josh Buckley again starting up front.
Bringing those tires up to temperature, trying to get them nice and hot, get the new rubbed off on them. Only 10 laps to go. You want the most you can get out of them in 10 laps, because it takes about 10 laps for these tires to come in at full speed. So you want to get going fast. So let's go ahead and scrub them stickers off and get ready to go.
You know, it's funny. I've heard a lot of different opinions on whether or not it actually makes a difference here in the sim. Some people say that the tire temps stay neutral until you cross the line at the green flag. I don't know if it's true or if it's not. With that said, I'm definitely the type that continues to warm tires. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, me personally, some tracks I like to scrub the tires a little bit and get the new off of them. Brakes is a big thing. I like to get some heat in my brakes, and that in some of these cars, street stocks especially, if you kind of ride the brake a little bit, you can hear that squeak. You can listen to them heat up. That squeak will go away, and you got some heat in your brakes now, and you're ready to go. You know that they're going to grab when you need them.
Yeah, brakes especially, they do heat up if you try to put some heat into them in the formation laps. But pace car is down. No formation lap now.
Green
Top
flag,
6
green flag.
taking the green flag here at USA. It comes out. Buckley in the throttle. Butler to his outside. Into turn 1 they go.
Clears the 8 off the backstretch. Having single file contact in the back. Looks like everybody's got it straightened out, pointing the right direction now. We're single file coming out of 2. Oh, he gets turned. The 40 turns the 8 car. Don't think there's any yellows in these heat races. He's going to get it turned around here. Leader's coming back around the stripe, diving it into turn 1. The 65 has a nice run on the 40 car. Just can't quite close the distance right there to get to his back bumper. Meanwhile, while these guys race, to get to the 2nd position right here, Buckley's kind of pulling away. That's what he wants to see in his mirror. Gotta believe this 65 car here. He's a little bit faster than Higgins. Just can't quite get around him. Catching him and passing him is 2 different things. But I think as we narrow down this, I believe we'll see a Nerf bar come into play as they're running down the 13 of Buckley here. That's kind of a surprise right there. He must not got off the corner as well as he needed to.
Buckley still leads. Higgins 2nd, Painter 3rd, Feemster 4th, Murphy Jr. 5th, Dan Butler still 6th after that early race incident. 5 to go here in heat number 1. Buckley's going to lead it off turn 2 down the backstretch. Riding on board with Dustin Painter, the number 65 point leader coming into tonight. And he's going to probably take this nice and smooth here, try to get the best finish he can out of this heat without ruffling too many feathers. Doesn't want to make an enemy early on. Also just going to be happy with 3rd. There could be an invert too. That is kind of a random thing. We'll see what happens here. Buckley takes that ultra low lane off of 4. He gets a little crossed up. Low exit off turn 4. Gives the outside to Rob Higgins. Higgins going to battle for the lead here off the corner. Into the wall goes the 40.
Be really impressed if he can make this stick up on the high side like that. I believe it's going to open the door for Painter, and it does. He's inside of him. 65 will have a run down the backstretch. How is he going to manage his braking right here into 3?
Higgins still hanging tough out on the high side here.
He drove it in super deep right there.
Gets back to the throttle though, got some momentum off at turn number 2. He's going to take the lead here into 3, clears Buckley. The 13's in the second spot. Checkered flag is waving. Higgins is going to pull this off, going to win heat number 1. Buckley is going to finish 2nd. Painter 3rd, Feemster 4th, Butler 5th. Sorry, Murphy 5th, Butler 6th.
That was definitely an impressive move right there. I'm really surprised to see that he was able to hang so tough out there on the outside and make the pass right there. Just was able to keep the RPMs up and drive off the corner, and see if anybody else was taking notes of that.
I think a lot of that was just Buckley not being able to drive off the corner and swing it all the way out to the wall. Really killed the exit speed, but let's take a look here at our starting grid. What is this? There we go. Doug Wolcott, he'll start on the pole position here. Did not take a time in qualifying. He'll start first for this heat. Shane Wagner, the 26, will start second. Carson Conway, the number 72, starts third. Mike Taschereau, the number 33, he'll roll off from the 4th position. Ben Choate, the 1 machine, will start 5th. Bob Higgins, the number 43, starting in the 6th position.
Feeling we're going to see a little bit more contact in this race right here than we did in the last one, but got an HBR driver up there on the front row in this race, so hopefully it's a good, clean race. Hopefully Carson can jump out there and lead a couple laps, get a good finish going into the featured event.
And I'll tell you, I think we're going to have 3 heats. I know it said 2, but we've only got 6 cars per heat. If we're only running 2, we've got way more cars in the field, so we'll see what happens. But pace car is down, waiting on the green flag for these 5.
Green flag, green flag.
Flag waves right to the last minute. Field fires off. Shane Wagner drops down low from the top spot on the outside. Carson Conway in the 2nd position. Shane Wagner trouble off of 2, and interestingly enough, I don't know why we were getting the names that we got. I don't know. Doug Wolcott, he did not start this heat. Shane Wagner's, that's a tough break. He's got mechanical failure from that incident. Ben Choate now, he's going to inherit the top spot. Carson Conway 2nd, maybe going to take the lead. Nope. Almost making contact with the 1 off of turn number 2, gathers it back up. Drives it in deep into 3 and 4 once again. Ben Choate, a little bit higher exit off of turn number 4, crosses the line as the leader. 7 laps to go. Choate still out front. Conway 2nd. Taschereau 3rd. Higgins 4th. Wagner 5th. Doug Wolcott again listed as out. Did not start this heat.
Choate taking the middle line around the corners there. Carson Conway being able to stay there on the yellow. I think, we keep going at this pace. I believe Carson will be able to get up there and challenge him for the lead.
Kind of the best of both worlds here for Ben Choate. He's running that middle lane. It's kind of blocking the low, blocking the high, but still able to get the momentum off the corner with a car length and a half advantage over the 72. Really, it's up to him. Carson drives her way in deep in the middle of 1 and 2 there.
Really hurt his off corner speed.
Taschereau is going to eat him up here if he keeps that up. The 33, excellent at backing up his corners and driving out.
In like a lamb, out like a lion. That's how you get some speed on these short tracks.
Watching the battle for the 2nd spot. Taschereau looking to the low side of the 72, off of turn 2 into 3. Taschereau has this position. Might have it taken away. Move Mike Taschereau to the 2nd spot off turn number 4. Crosses the line. Move Conway back to 3. 4 laps to go here in heat number 2. Well, if Mike Taschereau's got anything for Ben Choate with 3 laps to go, it's about 4 or 5 car lengths back to the 33. Choate with a decent advantage here into turn number 3, coming to 2 laps to go.
He's closing the gap, though, pretty quickly. long as he can keep it on that yellow line, he's going to be able to get him. Just this track, I mean, we did see a pass on the outside, but this is typically a single groove racetrack, and you give somebody that bottom line, and they definitely can drive around you. As we're on the white flag lap.
Mike Tascherl right to the back Nerf bars of the number 1 DC machine as they work off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Drives it way deep into 3 and 4, going to the outside. Mike Tascherl is going to have the momentum to take the top spot.
He's got it.
Takes the heat
Wow.
win here in heat number 2. Great move. Drives it with caution to the wind into turn 3. How he made that car stick, I don't know. Ben Choate has to be beside himself. Tascherl picks up the win here in heat number 2.
And when you have unlimited backups in the garage, I mean, you can just go and pull them out, throw caution to the wind. But what's interesting, we've had 2 heats, 2 last lap passes, both of them on the outside. That's good. That's great racing right there.
Here's heat number 3. Tom Melnick, Mr. Tom Melnick. I guess we'll go with Mr. Tom Melnick. The TRS Motorsports 00 starts P1. Joe Marks in the 4 will start second. Row number 2, Brian Torsha in the 2. He'll start third. Jamie Kerr with Kerr Motorsports will start in the 75 in the 4th spot, with Cody Harger at the tail end of this field, number 66. Going to have some work to do here in these next 10 laps if he wants to take home a win here in heat number 3.
And I'm not sure. I don't think Melnick gridded up. I don't think he's out here.
It doesn't appear to be, so we could have a 4-car heat.
Definitely got my eyes on the 66 back here to come to the front. I mean, I know all these guys, they know what they're doing, but Cody's he's a racer, so he's going to get out there. He wants to lead laps.
He's certainly a racer, but you guys, I mean, all 3 of these guys here, Brian Torsha, Joe Marks, Jamie Kerr, they can get it done here in these little short tracks. So we'll see what happens. Coming to green.
Green flag.
Green waves, Torsha and the rest of the field in the throttle into turn number 1.
Flagman really holding them late.
Jamie Kerr going 3 wide into turn 2. Not going to help him so much. Is going to get him around the 4, though. Cody Harger is going to go from last to second, driving it way deep. Jamie Kerr almost to the back Nerf bar, and Cody Harger goes from last to first. It's only 4 spots, but up to the top spot here in lap number 1 with 8 laps to go. Harger up front.
Big wiggle there out of 4 from Kerr.
Brian Torsha not giving the 66 an inch through the corner there, right into the back bumper. Taking a look down low into turn number 3. Does he have a spot? Nope, no contact, but the 66 has to yield the bottom side. Swings it way wide off of turn number 4. Brian Torsha certainly applying the pressure.
Porsche just gets such a good run coming off the corners. Ooh, little contact right there.
Yeah, got to the back bumper of the 66 saying, hey, I'm here and I'm quicker. You better get away or I'm going to dump you. It's only the heat after all.
Cody's got some breathing room now. He's just set sail from here on out, coming to 4 laps to go. We'll see if Porsche can mount a charge back, get back to his bumper.
Take a look at the battle here for the 3rd spot. Jamie Kerr and Joe Marks about to go at it. A car length in between these two. They were right there, almost side by side off turn 4 a lap ago. 3.5 to go as we get to the line the next time by. It'll be 3 laps to go for Cody Harger. At the line 2 to go for the 66. And this is kind of all for bragging rights because they could choose to do the invert here at the end of these heats after all. May not work out in the end, but we'll see how it goes. Cody Harger off turn 4. White flag is waving. Brian Torsha there second. Jamie Kerr is third.
Two more corners for Cody.
Cody Harger off turn 4, checkered flag waves. Winner heat number 3, the 66 Plasmine Technologies modified of Cody Harger. Second place, Brian Torch. Jamie Kerr is third. Joe Marks fourth. Tom Elnick credited with fourth. Got a 1 minute warm up here. Field is gridded up on the front straightaway. Let's go to our starting grid here before we get things underway from Lakeland, Florida. The USA Speedway on the pole position. It is the 2 of Brian Torsha. Starting to his outside, the 1 of Ben Choate. Row number 2, the 13 of Josh Buckley with Cody Harger in the number 66 starting 4th. Row number 3, it is the 33 of Mike Taschereau. His outside, the 40 of Rob Higgins. Starting in the 4th row, Dustin Painter, point leader coming into tonight. He'll start 7th with Carson Conway, the 72 machine, to his outside. Jamie Kerr with Kerr Motorsports. He'll start 9th. Kevin Feemster starting 10th. Starting 11th, Bob Higgins, flanked by the 4 of Joe Marks, starting in the 12th position. 13th with Dan Murphy Jr., the 41, and Shane Wagner, the 26, starts 14th. 15th, Tom Melnick, the 00 with Dan Butler in the 18, starting in the 16th position, with Doug Wolcott in the 12, starting in the 17th position. Your starting grid here for tonight's race, the Tour TRS Tour Modified Series from USA International Speedway. Green flag is just a lap away. We'll go down to trackside right now. Field is formed up 2 by 2, getting ready to take the green flag. Brian, me and Eric do this on the SCAR side quite a bit, but you got a pick for tonight's race?
You know what? I know I've broadcasted some of these races with you. I don't real sure. You know what? I'm going to go out on a huge limb right here, and I'm going to say Painter gets it done today.
You're going with the 65 of Painter. I'm going to go with... Tough one.
Don't count after the green, Steve. Hurry.
Josh
Green flag.
Buckley. Green flag is out. It's waving. Race has started here. They're into turn number 1. 2 of Brian Torsha leads him into the corner. Off turn 2, everybody's clean.
Great looking field tonight. Real awesome to see a bunch of these mods out here on this track right here.
You know, it is certainly cool to see. We got 17 modifieds here. We had upwards of 20, 25 earlier in the season. Again, not everybody able to make it all the time, but yeah, definitely a nice field here. Not too big. That's also a problem in some cases. You put 40 modifieds on a place like USA Speedway, that can become problematic.
Great racing all over the track. I mean, there's nobody that's not looking for a position right now.
Right now, Brian Torsia still leads. Ben Choate closing in. So's Cody Harger. But Josh Buckley goes, nope, it's my turn. I want to move here, try and take over the third spot. Lap 4 already up on the board. The 13 of Buckley trying to take that spot away from Cody Harger. Field working their way off turn number 4, still clean and green. Lap 5 goes up on the board. Ben Choate might have the lead here, the battle for that spot off of turn number 2. Ben Choate on the high side might take it away from the 2 of Torsia. Move Ben Choate to the lead. Cody Harger is going to try and follow by, but no, the 13 of Buckley is going to maybe go 3 wide. Nope, thinks better of it, tucks back in behind, but now pressure from the 40 of Rob Higgins.
A little early in the race to make that move, but I believe he was going to send it in there. I think he might have just drove it in just a little too deep.
Ben Choate, your new leader. Cody Harger up to the 2nd spot. Brian Torsia battling back on the low side, though. Cody Harger, meanwhile, trying to maybe build some momentum to try and get around Ben Choate for the top spot. Crosses over, looking down low. Choate slides it in a little bit too deep. Doesn't take away anything from that run, though. Ben Choate keeps the lead over the 66.
Oh, big wreck behind him.
I think we're under caution here.
40 of Higgins involved. We got our HBR TV machine involved. Maybe the 75 of Jamie Kerr. Yes, indeed. Caution is out on the speedway. Not good when the live timing says Rob Higgins crashed 3 times on 1 yellow. Not a good sign at all. Let's try and get a look at it and see what happened here to the driver of number 43. I'm sorry, that is the 40 of Rob Higgins. Get a look at it here. The 40 there up a little bit high, trying to go to the high side of Josh Buckley. Josh is still coming up. Contact is made. Buckley gets lucky not to get turned into the outside wall, but the 40, no, maybe not. Buckley is not going to be lucky here. Both those drivers going to get clipped front of the field. Jamie Kerr gets a piece of it. The 7 might have gotten through. Shane Wagner is going to drive right underneath the 40, as is Murphy Jr. The 4, Joe Marks gets clear of the 13. And that is why we are under caution. Our first caution flag here tonight, USA Speedway.
And it looks like the 40 car, he was there on the outside, and it looked like Buckley was just trying to drive off the corner. Maybe thought he was clear. Maybe didn't think he might have been that close to him, and just kind of touched the Nerf bars, and in the wall they went. Chain reaction from there.
I mean, you drive these modifieds so on edge. If you're really going to be quick, you don't have a whole lot of opportunity to fix a problem. If you're in that scenario, either you lift or you don't. But if you lift, it's really going to cost you. So the penalty for lifting is bad. And in this case, the penalty for not lifting ain't much better. Again, the points coming into tonight, Dustin Painter is the point leader, the driver, the number 65. He's got a 10-point advantage over Rob Higgins. Rob is the one that was involved in that incident, so not a good situation for the driver, the number 40. Third place was Dan Butler. He was the driver of the number 18. Butler currently runs in the 7th position. Josh Buckley, he was involved in that as well. Buckley's back to the 14th spot. Shane Wagner, Shane got a piece of that too. I don't know how terrible it was, as the car that he hit was already in the air, but he's 5th in the point standings. I don't think he's got mathematical probabilities here tonight, but either way, things are looking pretty good for Dustin Painter right now. Really, Dan Butler, the only one that stands anything to gain out of this one, as he runs in the 8th spot.
Pace car is off. We're getting ready to let him go back racing.
Green flag waves. Ben Choate still in front. Cody Harger is second. Castro third. Porsche fourth. Feemster is fifth. Work off turn 2 down the backstretch. I mean, truthfully, Painter running in the 6th spot. If he just maintains that position and doesn't give it up to any of the guys in the point standings behind him, Shane Wagner, Butler, all those guys, he's going to check out okay. Rob Higgins, unfortunately, at this stage of the race, looks like he might still be on the pit lane. Definitely not on the lead lap. Yeah, Higgins is down 3 laps, so his championship hopes definitely come to a close unless something crazy happens. He gets a few laps back. He is the only car lap down, but Ben Choate keeping the lead here at USA. Cody Harger right to the back bumper. Seems like he's got some pace, but Choate slides it through 3 and 4. Gets way up into the loose stuff. Cody gets underneath. He's going to lead this lap, but not quite clear of the 1 into 1.
Way high up into the loose stuff there. It's going to open up the door for this 3rd and 4th place cars to start looking.
Cody has gapped the field already. Just that exit of turn number 2. It's about 7 car lengths back to the 1 of Ben Choate and Mike Taschereau. Mike a little loose off turn 4. Going to allow Brian Torch to maybe take a look to the outside of the 33. This battle continues. Mike Taschereau able to hang on to the 3rd spot. Dustin Painter moves himself up to the 5th position. Kevin Feemster in the number 7 machine up to the 7th position. Got Dan Butler, the 18, right behind him. Murphy Jr. behind Butler. Joe Marks rounds out the top 10. The number 4, that red machine in behind the blue 41.
Field single file right now. Looks like they're all content to just log some laps right here and just try to click down the lap count, get closer to the end of the race before they all start making moves. Try to save a couple of those fast repairs to the end. It's a small track. Anything can happen at any time. You don't want to be caught up and use your fast repairs here before halfway.
Oh,
and
contact with the 2. Brian Torsia around off the nose of, I think it might have been Shane Wagner.
Very, very difficult official.
43 of Higgins collects the 2 off of turn number 4, brings us under our 2nd caution of the night. I was going to say we got Dustin Painter not content with running single files. He was able to take away the 5th or the 4th position away. But meanwhile, Torsia gets collected with Shane Wagner there. Let's try and get a look at it from the blimp. The yellow flag is out 2nd time. An incident with Brian Torsia, and I think it was Shane Wagner. Let's take a look at the replay. Going into turn number 3, got Painter down low, the 2 of Torsia just a lane up, trying to battle back, but Wagner's going to say, you know what, I'm going to try and follow the 65. Kind of a late decision. Catches the right front on the left rear of the 2, sends him around off of 4. Wagner gets into the inside wall just a bit. Torsia doesn't really get on the brakes much. 43 of Higgins collects him mid-track.
Unfortunate event there. I mean, there was a hole, and he seen it. He tried to fill it. A little late decision. I don't think there was any ill intent there. Just a racing deal, trying to pick up a spot while you can, and unfortunately tags him in the left rear and sends him around. The old broadcaster's curse strikes again.
Couple drivers in the pit lane, Joe Marks and Carson Conway. Again, relatively near the rear of the field. Not a whole lot to lose here. They're going to take an opportunity to get some tires. Carson Conway, right sides for sure. Right sides only. Want to go down a lap. Cody Harger with the pace car leading the race here. This is just off turn number 4. Ben Choate, Mike Taschereau, Dustin Painter, the point leader, and Shane Wagner in the 5th spot. And working our 2nd caution of the evening, lap 25 of 80. 15 laps shy of halfway. pretty decent race so far. I know we've had a couple of cautions to slow things here. 25 laps in, but racing deals, there's no one really driving over their heads by any means. These things tend to happen. Aggression sometimes gets someone's better half, and well, you see the result. Don Harger, y'all should have picked the 66. Yeah, right now it's not looking good for us. I know it's honestly, a lot of times it is easy to pick the 66. He is so fast, especially in these modifieds. I think we've picked Cody enough. It was time to give somebody else a little pat on the back. And it wasn't just an empty one. These guys all have the opportunity and the ability to make the pass. I mean, Cody would admit the same thing. There's a handful of guys out there that are just as fast, or if not just close enough to make it a challenge, certainly for the 66. Dustin Painter is usually always there. Mike Taschereau is there, hit and miss. Shane Wagner as well. Ben Schode, again, he's to the outside as we get ready to go back to green. It's anybody's race here. Again, the race is not over yet. The green flag back out, lap 27 of 80. Cody Harger with a great jump into turn number 1. 2 car lengths back to Ben Schode. Work off turn number 2. Dustin Painter's moved himself up into the 3rd spot. Ben Schode settles into the 2nd position, gains some ground back on the 66. Cody Harger leads it 2 to 3 car lengths ahead of the 1 of Ben Schode. Ben having a strong run here tonight at USA. Clips the wall just a bit on corner entry into turn 1. Seen a lot of guys do that here tonight. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but Dustin Painter may be closing the gap on that number 1 machine. Wants that 2nd spot. Maybe head hunting here, going to try and go around the 1 and set sail for the 66, but again, remains to be seen. 51 laps to go here from USA Speedway. Ben Schode solidly in the 2nd spot, a half car length out in front of the 65 of point leader Dustin Painter.
Everybody's about single file all the way back to the 9th position, and then there's a group of cars that are just fighting like it's the last lap. Looks like they're going to settle it down here, but definitely a great race there for about 3 or 4 laps.
Got a couple of point contenders here. Buckley and Dan Butler trying to make their way back towards the front. Right now, it's not working out the greatest. Buckley's got the high side, the 13, that blue machine up top on the outside of the HBR TV entry. Now tucks back in behind of the 72 of Carson Conway, trying to swing it back high again, but I think Joe Marks is going to take advantage, swings his car down low, going to steal that spot away. Buckley slips back to the 13th spot. So far, championship hopes may be going up in smoke for the driver, the number 13. And it ain't over till it's over, but 33 laps in, just shy of halfway. Not looking good for the driver of the 13. Oh, and the 72 of Conway makes contact with the 2 of Torsha.
Put the driver there, homie.
Ryan Torsha in the wall again, turn number 2. Caution is out again, 3rd one of the evening.
Looks to me like in real time, looks like Carson was able to roll the center real good and got back to the throttle just a touch too soon. Got into his left rear quarter panel of Torsha just one more time. I mean, that's unfortunate for him. It's 2 times in a row that's happened.
We'll take a look at it here. We'll spotlight Carson Conway as he gets into turn 1. 2 of Brian Torsha just up ahead. Carson gets a much lower entry. Yeah, just really gets to that back Nerf bar. Sends the 2 around. Torsha's going to hit the pit lane here again. Again, maybe for a fast repair, maybe just for regular repairs. Either way. Gonna take the opportunity to get at least right side tires on that number 2 Red Baron machine. 4 Hoosier tires going on that modified, so hopefully the 2 of Brian Torsha does not lose a lap here.
Going to be close. And he could just be banking on another caution, but it looks like he got out.
Looks like he cleared the pace car, got out just in time, going to stay on the lead lap.
Definitely need to send all his pit crew a bottle of whiskey or something for getting him out, because
At least a steak. Whiskey and a steak, even better.
Oh, Steve, they ain't won the race yet. They just got him out of the pits.
All right, well, we'll start with a whiskey, and then if they win, they get a steak. Whiskey kind of fills the need for multiple issues. Win or lose, whiskey's always a good option.
You can always find an excuse for a glass of whiskey.
Are you pouring one now?
Yeah,
Sounds like you dropped your glass.
I might have been. Rock glasses get heavy.
Field formed up 2 by 2. We're getting ready to go back to the green flag here. Caution lights. Yeah, there they are. They are off. Justin Frederick on the YouTube side saying, let's go. Got a few of you guys over on the YouTube side saying hello. 7 of you over on the stream side. Alan Freeze checking in, saying hello. Not saying hello, but he's there.
Green flag.
Green flag back out, though. Cody Harger in the throttle. Another good jump over the one of Ben Choate. Lap 38 goes up on the board. We're back underway here from USA Speedway. Cody Harger leads Ben Choate into turn 3. Choate not giving up yet. A car length, maybe a car length and a half off the back bumper of the 66. As we start lap 40, it'll be half distance the next time by. Ben Choate second, Painter third, Wagner fourth, Kevin Feemster up to fifth. Shane Wagner, biggest mover so far. He started 14th up into the top 5.
Painter's closed the gap. He's looking for second. He's there on the inside. He can roll these corners right here. He'll have him.
Dustin Painter down low, Choate up in the high side. The white one machine up top. Dustin Painter down low in the 65. The Rust-Oleum North American construction machine clears the position, gets the second spot, and Choate might be losing this spot here to Shane Wagner here in a moment. The 26 drives it in deep, maybe rubs the right front on the Nerf bar. They get away with it though, off the corner, nobody in the wall. Choate slips back to the 4th spot. Shane Wagner now up to 3rd.
Now Painter has his sights set on Harger, and that's definitely not anything Cody wants to see in his rearview mirror. Even though he's got a nice cushion right now, I'm sure that that's going to close now.
Clear sailing out in front of the 65 as caution comes out once again. I think Josh Buckley involved.
Yeah, it looks like he just got tapped on the right side of his car and sent him to the bottom, and he locked him up to avoid hitting the wall there. No harm, no foul. It just car stopped on the track.
Get a look at it here. The incident with the 13. Again, championship contender coming into tonight. It's into turn number 3. Watch that left front. Gets it just below the yellow line. No, off turn 3, he's okay. Dan Butler trying to get down below Mike Taschereau. Clips the right front of the 13. Sends him to the inside wall.
I thought he was able to lock him up there. Camera switched, and unfortunately, he did make some pretty heavy contact there to the left front.
Well, we'll see if he hits the pit lane. In fact, I think he will. Try to get some repairs on that number 13. Looks like Ben Choate's going to hit the pit lane as well. I think Choate's trying to do some strategy here. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 4 tires here. Again, started to slip back, losing some of that grip. Top 6 drivers have not pit yet. May work out in the advantage for the number 1.
I mean, you could see right there he was starting to slide up. He was losing ground, losing grip, maybe abused the tires a little bit, you know, in the first part of this race. You're starting to slide back. The only place you're going to go is back. So let's come down pit road and go ahead and put some stickers on them and go back out. Try to work our way back up. Still early. Still got plenty of laps left.
Luckily, having a seizure in that race car.
It looks like his whole pit crew has some problems there.
Yeah, Buckley's going to go down a lap here, unfortunately.
Not exactly sure I want to know what's going on in that pit box.
Light dress code here tonight, USA Speedway in the TRS Tour Modified Series.
I don't think those fire suits are safety approved.
No SFI rating on those ones. Well, Cody Harger continues to lead. Dustin Painter gets back to the rear bumper or to the outside now of the 65. Shane Wagner giving a little love tap to the 66. It's a familiar sight, the 66 and the 65 towards the front of the field. That's been a common theme here this season. Pace car peels off, getting ready to go back to green. 66 in the throttle, gets up in front of the 65 of Painter. Shane Wagner going to try and make a move to the inside, trying to steal that second spot away. Painter up top, Wagner down low, checks up, not to get into the point leader. Don't want to ruin a championship here, but Wagner wants a win. Painter into the fence in entry at turn 3. Looks like the 7 of Feemster is going to be a part of this battle here in just a minute. Wagner takes over the second spot. Dustin Painter slips back to third.
And the 43 car of Higgins is turned around on the front stretch, going the wrong way. No caution. Leaders are coming back around.
It's like 43 of Higgins is trying to stay out of the leader's path. Stays in the grass. I wonder if we'll stay under green. We will. Higgins is going to lose the lap here from doing this. Again, trying to play it smart and stay out of the way, not affect the race too much. He gets back in the throttle, rejoins the race. Sacrificial lamb is the 43 of Bob Higgins. Dustin Painter trying to work on the 26 of Wagner once again. Painter does seem a tick faster now. He's got some temperature in those Hoosier tires. Kevin Feemster, the 4th spot. Mike Taschereau 5th. Taschereau showed some speed early on in the first half of the race as well. Kevin Feemster coming along strong as well.
Painter just keeps looking to the inside right there of Wagner. He's there. If he can just get to his rear bumper, I believe he's going to be able to get underneath him.
26 laps to go from USA Speedway. Cody Harger relatively unchallenged right now, up at the front of the field. The battle for the second spot is on between Shane Wagner and Dustin Painter. Kevin Feemster just hoping to pick up some scraps here if something happens with these two, but he's got trouble in the rear view mirror. That's the 33 of Mike Taschereau. Awfully quick he has been tonight, trying to work on the number 7, trying to find a way around. Dan Butler again in the championship hunt as well, but again, Dustin Painter doing everything he needs to do to secure this championship. Comes in with a 10-point advantage over second place. Really just needs to stay out in front of these guys and secure that championship with 24 laps to go. Gets around the 26 though, moving towards the front. Wants to try and track down the 66 again. A little bit of a bump from the 26 of Wagner. Nothing real bad, just a little, hey, nice job, I got you. Maybe I don't. Going to sit there in the third spot as Painter starts to drive away 2 car lengths over the 26. Maybe he'll try and track down Cody Harger. That was kind of the mindset before our last caution. Wasn't able to get to his bumper. Caution came out, got him caught up. But being in the outside lane, the 26 of Wagner was able to take advantage, take the second spot away. Cost some valuable time for the driver, the number 65, to get back around Shane Wagner. Dan Butler really trying hard to get back up into that top 5. He sits there in the 6th spot behind Mike Taschereau. He's got Jamie Kerr putting some pressure on him. Kevin Feemster still in the 4th spot. Taschereau 5th, Butler 6th, Jamie Kerr 7th. Murphy Jr., Marks, and Torsha, your top 5 with 19 to go. Try to go through the field. Hopefully we can get it done before we get a caution. Cody Harger out in front of this field, started in row 2, slowly but surely made his way towards the front. And you know what? Every time I try to do this, Carson Conway in the wall. Take a look at it, the replay, see what happened with the 72. Bring out our 4th caution of the day.
I think this looks like a little bit of payback.
Quite possible. I will say, though, Buckley trying to go for a championship here. I don't know if this would be intentionally. He runs the risk of getting caught up in it. He certainly didn't give him any breaks. But Buckley, he's got to be smarter than that. I don't think he's going to try and dump the 72 intentionally there. Maybe a little contact, definitely no brakes, but yeah, the 72 ends up in the outside wall off turn number 2. Put us under the caution here once again. 17 laps to go. But here we are. Carson Conway is going to roll down the pit lane. I don't know if he's got any tires left. I know he may have taken 1 set at least, but this actually could work out to his advantage. He gets a set of tires here late. Gets plenty of laps to get some heat into them. If we stay green to the end, it could work out in his favor.
No takers at the front of the field.
And I'm not surprised. A lot of these guys, Cody Harger, Dustin Painter, Shane Wagner, Feemster, Taschereau, those ones have stayed out, as well as Dan Butler. They're used to running on old tires, and really these Hoosier tires, they're not the softest compound in the world, we have found. A lot of these guys have been able to run green to checker without stopping at all. As long as the fuel holds out, they've been able to make it work on 1 set of tires. Well, Brian, what do you think the strategy is here for the driver, the number 65? Dustin Painter sits there in the 2nd spot. He really doesn't want to risk too much as far as getting too deep and causing a wreck, because he's not locked into a championship. Again, a 10-point advantage coming into tonight. But a lot of his competition in that point standings having some trouble here this evening.
Well, you don't want to run the risk of throwing the championship away. That's obvious. You know, there's always in the championships, when you get down closer to this championship race, it becomes a race within a race. You want to know where your competitors are that are competing, that can steal this championship away from you. Right now, he's sitting real good. He's in the 2nd spot. Does he get up here and run and try to get a win? I mean, you're right there. Racers want to win, but they also want to make sure they clinch that championship. So big picture racing, I say I stay right here. If I have an opportunity, I don't force it. But if it's there and Cody gives me the inside, or maybe he slips up a little bit, I want to be right there and take advantage of it. To get the win and the championship on the same night, I mean, you can't ask for a whole lot more than that. And we're going to have about 14 to go. I mean, it's time to lay it out all on the line right now.
Yellow lights still flash. Pace car crosses the line. Carson Conway, it looked like, was through the dirt there, but Yellow lights are out. Field's going to form up 2 by 2. Pace car into 1. We're going to get the 1 to go the next. This is the 1 to go. We're going to get green flag next time by with 13 laps remaining. Again, we do have an option here for the green, white, checkered finish. That could change things significantly. We'll have to see how things pan out.
Cody wastes no time getting back to the throttle.
Flag.
Oh, as soon as the pace car peels off, the 66 in the gas, gets a good jump over the 65 of Painter, but Dustin manages to hang on to the second spot here over Shane Wagner this time. Painter in second, Shane Wagner just a tick behind. Kevin Feemster, though, looking sharp and aggressive there, trying to get into that spot. Got into the brakes there to avoid contact with the 26 as we got 12 laps to go. Mike Tashero looking to the inside of Kevin Feemster into turn number 3. Nothing doing there. Jamie Kerr tucks in behind the 33 as well. Dan Butler just a car length in behind him, battling with the 4 of Joe Marks. Second place in the points, Rob Higgins currently running in the 11th position. That orange number 40 machine unable to make any forward progress so far here. 10 laps to go from USA Speedway. It's going to take something big to get him close enough. Dustin Painter is going to have problems. He's going to have that happen, and Rob Higgins is going to need to win this race as well to really have that much of an advantage. You see the 13 of Josh Buckley down low. Not sure what happened there. The 13 was a little bit off the pace. Out front, though, Cody Harger still leads, and the yellow flag is out again. Carson Conway.
Carson Conway got collected up into that one. Looks like, I can't tell who that is. I think it's Schultz. He just got loose. Maybe he got some help. Slid up the track, and Carson just couldn't get to the brakes.
Pace car runs Conway right over.
I think Conway's going to have to tow this one.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the replay, see what happened with the 72 and the 1. See the 72 of Conway, Ben Choate, the 1, that white machine just up ahead, making a move to the outside of the 40. Dan Murphy slow on entry. The 40 gets in there. Choate checks up, trying to avoid it. Conway doesn't catch it, gets to the back Nerf bar of the 1. Choate kind of gets away, maybe a little bit of contact there with the 72, but Carson Conway gets the brunt of it, really. But Choate does spin it down to the inside just after that. Tough break for both drivers here late in the race. Ben Choate uses the fast repair. Left side tires this time. Interesting perspective here out of the 1. Maybe the only set of tires he has left, not sure, but left side's only for the 1. Fast repair also received, so that are ready to race. Back up to snuff here. Right sides are a little bit older, but that's okay. We've only got 7 laps here, maybe 6 to go, maybe 5 to go when the green comes back out.
And I got to think Painter, he's seen that Cody decided to jump a little bit early. I got to think he's going to be waiting for that. He expects it this time. So I don't think Cody's going to break out to a lead like he has the last couple of restarts.
You know, I've seen the 66 do this a lot, though, too, is he varies when he starts. Sometimes he'll wait for the flagman. Sometimes he'll fire as soon as a pace car leaves. It's hard to get a gauge on what he's going to do unless you race with him consistently. I know Cody's been here in the season, maybe 2/3 of the season, so the guy's maybe trying to get a feel for what he's going to do on a restart. But I would be surprised to see Cody pull the same thing on this restart that he did on the last. Got to mix it up. Otherwise, it's going to be just like you said. Painter's going to be ready for it. He's not going to get that big of a jump.
Yeah, and it's crucial when you're on short tracks like this. I mean, any track, really, any oval. You got to play head games when you're up there, and that's what they do. I have yet to be in a race where head games aren't played on a restart. Whether you're just trying to get the most advantage any way possible on the track. So Cody's definitely veteran at restarts. He usually finds himself up front. And we'll just see how this one shakes out, but it's definitely going to be interesting. So we're going to have about 3 laps to go.
Speaking of head games, you got guys like Bobby Hamilton Jr. in a lot of cases. I don't know if you ride on their onboards and listen, he'll stab the clutch and hammer on the gas pedal trying to get the outside lane to break early, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We've also seen him do the same thing and then dump the clutch and then spin himself out. But
I don't have to ride on board with Bobby. I'm usually sometimes beside of him. I hear that engine rev to 8,000 RPMs and we're not going anywhere. So yeah, I've come to expect that out of him.
The lights are off on the pace car. We are on the 1 to go. So next time by, it'll be 3 laps to go. So 3, 2, 1, we'll get a finish here. So this is not a green-white checker. So don't forget, we have 3 opportunities at those if indeed needed. Cody's slowing it way down, jacking the field up nice and tight here. Pace car is down. Tried to see exactly what we talked about. The 66 was trying to time it, got to the throttle a tick too early. It's going to cost him here. The 26 of Wagner is going to take the 2nd spot here with 3 laps to go. Cody Harger pulling away a car length and a half, maybe 2 to the 26, another 2 back to the 65. Again, Painter doesn't need to kill himself here. He's in the 3rd spot. He's got a championship locked up if he can stay there, but I'm sure he wants to win this race.
Coming around to the white flag. They take the white, the next flag will end the race. So white flag is in the air, and caution
comes out. Dan Murphy Jr. in trouble. Minimal issue at best, but enough to throw the flag. Take a look and see what happened to the 41. Off turn number 2. Kevin Feemster is going to drop below, trying to get around. It looks like the 1. You see Murphy Jr. into the fence. Ben Choate drives it in too deep, just slides it up the track, spins the 41. Caution comes out.
Well, we got 3 opportunities here to green-white checker, and I'm not saying that we're going to need all 3, but it's a good thing that we have all 3.
I think we'll need all 3. It's go time, Brian. It's time to get all you can get.
Yeah, and Painter, he's really kicking his self right now for kind of jumping the start right there and having to, he sacrificed a spot. So he's really he's going to be playing all kinds of games. I expect him to be right on the back of Cody's bumper, and as soon as that 66 takes off, Painter will be right on his bumper and diving it down. Would not rule out a little bit of a bump and run coming to the white flag.
So here's the thing. You've got Shane Wagner in the 2nd spot, point leader Dustin Painter in 3rd, but this is going to mean that Wagner's going to have to start to the outside of Cody. Cody might even want to drag it a little bit here and not get out such a good lead. I don't know that the 26 has got the stuff to get around Cody on the outside, at least this late in the race with the tires that they've both got. I think the low lane is kind of preferred. This might be to the detriment of Shane Wagner. It's kind of how we saw Painter lose that spot. He started, it was 2nd, but it was in the high lane. A slightest little bit of mistake out of the 65 allowed Shane Wagner to get on by and take that spot. So this could work out better for Dustin Painter. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Now, didn't Wagner, didn't he win his heat race?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
I believe he did, and I believe he made it work on the outside too.
Let's take a look at it here. See. No, it's not even going to show me the results. Come on. Cody won his heat. Asherle won his.
Maybe I was wrong.
Heat 1. Heat 2. 5th. That's the green, though. Cody out to a good jump once again. Wagner right to the back bumper, at least off of turn number 2. Dustin Painter's going to lose another spot here to Kevin Feemster. Restarts kind of the bane of his existence here late in the going. Now to the 4th position. He's got Jamie Curtis who's outside, trying to take away that spot as well. Dustin Painter hangs on to 4th. Closest competitor is Dan Butler as far as the championship is concerned. Butler in 7th. Painter 4th. Couple car lengths out ahead. Coming to the checkered flag. Cody Harger off turn number 4. Crosses the line as the winner. Shane Wagner is going to take 2nd. Kevin Feemster is 3rd. Dustin Painter is 4th, but it's good enough for a championship. Dustin Painter, your TRS Tour modified champion. Race comes to a close. Top 5 finishers: Harger, Wagner, Feemster, Painter, Taschereau. Cody Harger, your race winner, sits in victory lane. Meanwhile, Dustin Painter is going to celebrate a championship, burning it down into turn number 1. Cody knows he's won the race, but a championship means a lot to the driver, the number 65, just patiently waiting. Hard to get these modifieds to do donuts. Sometimes you need the hot and slick tires to make it happen. Maybe a little bit of grass to help it. So much for that left rear. Cody Harger, though, race winner, sits in victory lane. We're going to step aside here for a short break. We'll be back with our top 3 after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lakeland, Florida, the USA International Speedway TRS Tour Modified Series season finale. Cody Harger with the win and Dustin Painter with the championship. We're going to try and go down to race winner Dustin Painter here in just a moment, get a word from our champion, and then on to our top 3. You can pull Dustin into the booth here. Dustin, it's Stephen Bryan, the HBR TV broadcast booth. Do you got a copy?
I got y'all loud and clear, bud.
Dustin, man, I know you wanted this win like nothing else tonight. You ran good. You were up in that top 2, top 3. You finished 4th, but again, enough to bring home a championship. How was your strategy playing out throughout the night? Did you want to come in here and just run just good enough, or did you want to try and get that checkered flag as well?
I played defense the whole night, pretty much just kind of letting guys go. That last restart there kind of let the 7 go, and the 26 just keeping in mind the gap that I had to try to I mean, I was ahead of Rob, but just wanted to make sure I didn't get caught up in a last lap wreck or something and finish last, and Rob won the championship.
Well, you made it look good. You were there challenging there. I thought you might have had enough to get to the 66 and maybe even get around, but as you said so yourself, playing defense most of the night. Hey, your defense looks pretty damn aggressive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I was able to thought I had a faster car than Cody on the long run, not on the short run at all. Just struggled. Mainly that's because I started on the outside. But overall, I mean, I was running him down and just. I honestly, I was like, I'm going to finish second to him. I ain't going to try to attempt to make the pass because you never know. You know, he may cut down on me or something. I was just like, just stay second, stay third. I hated that caution. Last caution came out because you never know how green white checkers is going to be. It could be just a mess.
Well, speaking of restarting on the outside, we saw that happen. I think it might have been the second to last restart. The previous restart, Cody fired as soon as that pace car was clear of the field. The second to last restart, we were wondering if he was going to do that again. You might have been wondering the same as we saw you try to time it. You fired just a tick early. The 66 didn't go. You had to check up a bit. What was your mindset as that restart happened?
Once again, really didn't care about trying to beat Cody. Just was more just trying not to get wrecked, more or less. Like I said, that was not really fun to play a defensive race. I rather play an offensive race, but I mean, overall, just glad it's done. Got the pole tonight, and just to get the championship is pretty cool. I was thinking earlier, I think this is season 4 for us, but the first 2 seasons I couldn't get a win. Finally got a win. Season 3, I finally could run for a championship, and I had everything go wrong. I think I finished maybe 3rd or 4th in points, and just to beat these guys are really, really good. Cody Harger, I think he's got 6 wins on the season. The rest of the guys, Rob's always in the championship hunt. He's always consistent, so to beat him and just Dan and Mike and all them, that's pretty cool.
Well, DP, you look strong out there. Like we said, we were pulling for you. It would have been nice to see a checkered flag fall on the number 65 another time. But you know what? At the end of the season, bring home a championship. That's pretty damn sweet too. So again, congratulations. Before we let you peel on out of here, anybody that you need to thank for the season, for tonight, for the championship?
Yeah, of course. First, Danny Bone Racing, his sponsors, North American Motor Car, North American Construction, Rust-Oleum, and then our league sponsors. Our league sponsors allow this to be broadcasted. So the racing school, Mike Tasher, he's racing with us right now, and he's getting ready to open up his school for Thompson Motor Speedway in a couple weeks. LSI, My Cricket makes I know I'm leaving somebody off, but just, everybody that allows us to be able to be broadcasted every week, and so people can watch it at home, friends can watch it and stuff like that.
Well, us here at HBR TV certainly appreciate all that sponsorship participation, because it certainly keeps us employed. You guys have been a fun league to cover, whether it's in the trucks, the modifieds, or ARCA. Either way, we've had a blast up here in the booth. You guys put on a good show. Again, congratulations on the championship, Dustin, and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
What is your championship winner, Dustin Painter, driver the number 65? We're going to go to race winner Cody Harger next. Get a word with the driver of the number 66. Cody, it's Stephen Bryan in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Hey guys, what's happening?
Cody, congratulations on the victory here tonight. I know you joined the season relatively late in the going, didn't necessarily make all the races, so not in the points hunt this evening, just hunting some trophies. What was your strategy coming into tonight? Started there in the 4th position, I think it was, but you brought home a checkered flag.
Yeah, man, these modifieds are usually pretty good about not wearing the tires down too bad. But with this being a bit longer track, longer race, I was kind of cautious as to how they would react. So I knew I probably wanted to get to the lead as early as I could, if I could, and then kind of ride from there and manage a gap if I could. So that's kind of what the strategy was, and luckily it kind of played out like that. I had a good little battle there with Ben Choate early on in the race, but once we got clear, then after that it was just trying to manage. So I think DP probably had a little something for me if we could have got some green flag laps in, and but also he was racing for a championship and didn't necessarily need to win to get it. He just needed a clean race. So who's to say what would have happened if we'd actually started racing, how aggressive he would have been. I know one thing, I got lucky with that last caution, I believe, there on that original, coming to the original white flag, flipped the apron there a little bit coming off of 4 and had to blow up on her and lost all my momentum, and looked like Shane Wagner was gonna put a move on me, but luckily racing gods were smiling upon me, brought out a yellow, and we were able to hit a good reset button and bring it on home.
Luck and talent certainly play a part across the board. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Tonight might have been a little bit of both. Cody Harger in victory lane here at USA Speedway. Cody, before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you need to thank to help you get here to victory lane and this season and going forward?
Yeah, for sure. Plasming Technology is always on my cars, and I definitely thank them for being on board. Thank to the guys here in the league in OG for letting me come run with them. All the admins that put these on, all the league sponsors that let us do these races. And thank you to the guys at HBR TV. And congrats, DP, on your championship, bud. You earned it for sure.
Cody Harger, race winner here at USA Speedway. Good to hear from Cody. Next, we're going to go to second place driver, the runner-up here, Shane Wagner. Let's see if we can get a word with driver, the number 26 modified, Shane Wagner at Stephen Bryan in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Shane, man, a good race. You were up front most of the night, battling there for position. You bring it home runner-up. What was the strategy coming in, and did you stick to it, or did you have to change it up halfway? I mean, what was your mindset coming into tonight?
Honestly, I despise that track, so I just had a don't wreck people mentality. And I guess it worked. I think I touched fender bars there with a couple people, but we survived it.
Well, honestly, Shane, you ran some good laps. Your best lap of the night, a 19.72. The winner of the race ran a 56, so you weren't too far off of that for a track that you don't like. You ran good. You were up near the front a lot of the time. I know you were involved in an early incident, maybe a little piece of the Higgins machine in that wreck. Again, fast repair is certainly helpful, but you battled back. You finished in the second spot. Was it really just that the mindset, the whole race, kind of just stay out of trouble, run clean, or was it just did things change as the race progressed?
Yeah, it was just run clean. I even remember about lap 70, I was looking at the scoring, and I was like, what am I doing here? I am not fast enough to be up here.
We talk about a lot in racing. Sometimes slower is faster. It certainly worked out for you tonight. Maybe something to put into your bag of tricks going forward. Either way, man, a good run. Congratulations on the runner-up position. Shane, before we let you get out of here, though, is there anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, OG Racing League, all of our awesome sponsors. Racing School, check them guys out. Go drive a real race car. We got Mike Ergen Makes, Edix Trucking, everybody else that helps take care of the league. I have a good time in here.
Certainly.
And of course, our lovely broadcaster, HBR.
Lovely broadcasters. Thank you for the kind words, Shane Wagner. We'll let you get out of here after kissing my butt for that one.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Good job tonight, man. Congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to the Fem Daddy himself, Kevin Feemster, third place finisher here tonight. Kevin Feemster at Stephen Bryan, the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Kevin, man, a good run tonight. You weren't really up near the front most of the night. You were kind of knocking on the door. You started, I think it was in the 10th spot, managed to bring it home with a top 3. What was your strategy coming in? Did you stick to it? Did you change it up? Was it just kind of be clean? I know Shane Wagner's mindset was just don't wreck anybody. He brings it home second. How did you come into this race?
Basically the same. I was just patient. I had Mike on my heels for most of the race, but just trying to stay clean, stay off the bumpers with others, just race a clean race, be patient.
Mike Taschereau certainly one to be reckoned with out there on the racetrack, but you managed to get by champion Dustin Painter there in the late stages of that last green-white checker. Brought it home for the third place finish. How's it feel, man?
That feels good. I've been out of it for a little while. I haven't raced in a long time with at least the tour mods. So it felt good to get a podium. This is my first time racing this season in the tours. So yeah, it feels good.
We expect to see you back for the next season.
Most definitely, yes.
All right, so Kevin Feemster planning a return here, the Tour Modified Series coming up next season. I think HBR TV is going to be broadcasting that one as well, so we'll keep an eye out for the driver of the number 7. Kevin, before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you need to thank?
I just need to thank the whole OG group, all of our sponsors. It's pretty special from where we were a year ago to where we are now. So it's pretty awesome. Just Plan and everyone who did all this, you for broadcasting, pretty awesome thing we got going.
Well, you guys came to me for the broadcast, so thank yourselves. I appreciate the kind words, but I appreciate you guys having me broadcast an awesome league like yourselves. The trucks, the ARCA series, the mods across the board. You guys put on a good show. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. For me and for Brian, we really appreciate being a part of this.
That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Kevin, thanks for chatting with us, man. Again, thanks for the kind words. Congratulations on the 3rd place, man, and good luck going forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
That's Kevin Feemster, the 3rd place finisher here at USA Speedway. Brian, I hope I'm not boring you too terribly bad, but are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, Steve. I just listening, taking everything in, what all these guys had to say about this great season, and they did. I watched all the races, broadcasted a few of them. It was a great season all the way from the start to the finish. You know, you kept guys in the league. When you start out, usually towards the end of the race, the end of the season, you got the field sort of tapers off, and you don't want to see that. It didn't. I mean, there were people that kind of dropped out or maybe had some other obligations, but at the end of the season, this season still had a full field of cars, and that's what you want to see. That keeps the racing exciting. That keeps the broadcast exciting for people watching. You know, so can't wait for next season. Hope to be up here and calling a few more with you. Great race tonight. Congratulations to DP on the championship and Cody for the win.
You know, when we were setting this deal up here with the OG Racing League, they said, you know, Steve, we want you here for all 3 of these, the ARCA series, the trucks, and the modifieds. And I forget if I was talking to Bill Voracek or Clan Brian Rupert. I was excited, genuinely excited to cover a mod race. This is the first mod series that I've had a broadcast participation in, and it's been fun to watch. These guys run these short tracks. They even threw a road course in with it. That was a good time. I mean, I turned some laps with these guys in practice in that just because I like doing the road course stuff, but this was a good time. I'm a Northeast guy. I'm glad to be a part of this season and glad to be a part of it going forward. And again, Brian, I thank you for being a part of it here tonight. Always appreciate the extra added help from the HBR guys coming in and give me another broadcaster in the booth. I know a lot of leagues charge an extra $10 a race for that. It's nice to have it come in here, and it's kind of an added value add for the OG Racing League.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here. I like breaking, getting my feet wet and all the stuff that you do, getting behind the scenes. I'm typically behind the wheel when you're calling races. So to get up here and really see what you're doing on this side, it's a whole different ball game, but something I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with. And Steve, you do a great job, great season this season for the OG League, and can't wait to hear you next season.
Let's go over our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3, Harger, Wagner, and Feemster, and eventual champion Dustin Painter bringing home the TRS Tour Modified Series Championship. Mike Taschereau was 5th. Dan Butler finishes in the 6th position. Brian Torsha was 7th. Jamie Kerr finishes in the 8th spot. Joe Marks was 9th. Rob Higgins comes home in the 10th spot, and Ben Choate, night for the 1 of Ben Choate. He was right up front there battling with the 66 for a while. Expected a top 3 finish out of him. Fortunately for the 1, finishes 11th. Dan Murphy Jr. brings it home 12th with Bob Higgins 13th. Josh Buckley was 14th. Carson Conway 15th, 14 laps down. Tom Melnick and Doug Wolcott did not start tonight's event. That's your race results here from Lakeland, Florida, the USA Speedway. It's going to wrap it up for us. Again, thank you everyone for watching. Thanks most of all to TRS, theracing-school.net. It is the TRS Tour Modified Series. If you want to drive a real race car, a full-bodied stock car, tour type modified, check these guys out, theracing-school.net, or give them a call at 877-CAN-RACE. The schedule is posted for 2022, starting this April 9th through the end of October, weather permitting. Find a package that works for you. They don't make you sit behind a pace car. You can go out on your own. You can make passes, all the good stuff. That is the preferred way of doing it. It's not like the other racing schools out there, which we will go unmentioned, but this seems like the one that you want to do. You get to take some laps around Thompson Speedway, famed short track for the modifieds, and just a good place to go turn some laps. So if you get that opportunity, please do so. Also, special thanks to D. Dixon and Sons Trucking Incorporated. Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath at 636-544-7836. And to LSI, Litchfield Specialty, primary sponsor of the Litchfield Specialty ARCA series. And I know officially we're not listed as a sponsor in this particular series, but a thanks to My Cricket Makes. A lot of the drivers making mention into Tabitha Brown, but My Cricket Makes custom made signs and a lot more. Give her a shout as well. I don't have the graphic up because that just wasn't part of the plan, but stay tuned. We got a race tomorrow night. You'll absolutely see that graphic there. So if you need a number, you got to check in, watch the race, and we'll make mention of it there as well. So again, thank you all in the stream for what little participation we've had as far as the stream chat. You guys aren't a very talkative group over here, and we welcome it if you are, but if not, that's okay too. We just hope that you keep showing up and tuning in for these OG Racing League events, TRS Tour Modified Series, LSI ARC Series, and My Cricket Makes Truck Series. Again, tune in tomorrow night, 7:45 in the East. We will start the stream, and about 7:55 we will be live for the end of practice, then get into qualifying and get into the race. So again, stay tuned and be there for that. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already done so, like, follow, subscribe, facebook.com/HollerBoysRacingTV. Also on YouTube at HollerBoysRacingTV. Turn those notifications on so, well, you get notified when we go live. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you forget the race is on and we go live, you're going to get that little ding on your tablet or your smartphone or whatever you're watching the races on, and you'll know to tune in HBR TV to watch the race. Brian, any closing thoughts?
No, Steve, I mean, you pretty much covered it. Just make sure that everybody likes, clicks, subscribes, get those notifications. If you do like watching these races, you're a Sunday fan, you're a NASCAR fan, hey, don't wait just to watch these on Wednesday nights. You know, check out all of the HBR TV stuff that we got going on. You know, we got a full race schedule, you know, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. We're always on, so check us out.
All right, Brian. Well, again, thanks for helping me out here in the booth tonight. Always a pleasure to have you join me here. For Brian Rose, I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Tune in tomorrow night, 7:45 in the East. We'll see you there.